Hi, this is Michael, and this is a review of the Apple TV 3rd generation, and I'm also going to briefly talk about the previous 2nd generation and why you might want to stick with the 2nd generation as opposed to the 3rd generation. But this is the 2nd generation here and the 3rd generation. They are identical in size. As a matter of fact, there's really a little difference. In order to tell the difference between these two, you really have to look at the model number on the bottom. So let's just put the 2nd generation away, and we'll only deal with the 3rd generation. So yeah, I've got this hockey puck-ish size device. It's 3.9 inches square, and on the back you've got your AC power. This is your full-size HDMI plug. Then you've got a USB connection here, your optical audio out, and then this is your Ethernet. If you care to connect directly to your router, then you can do so with Ethernet. Otherwise, it does have Wi-Fi built in, and that supports A, B, G, and N. So one of the main differences between the 2nd and 3rd gen is the 2nd gen was limited to 720p. The 3rd gen supports 1080p, and therefore, if you don't have enough bandwidth on your router to support 1080, or if you don't have a 1080p HD TV, there's really no reason to get the 3rd gen, except the 2nd gen is kind of hard to find these days. And one of the other reasons you might want to stay with the 2nd gen is if you want to jailbreak your Apple TV to give you additional customization options, you have to get a 2nd gen because the 3rd generation cannot be jailbroken. So another big difference with the 3rd generation, which is great, is that this has a A5 chip in it, which is definitely faster, and you can notice that very easily when you are on the screen zipping around choosing different options. Everything is much snappier with the 3rd generation. And they've added a lot of content to the 3rd generation. However, I should also mention that the 2nd generation, through a software update, can have the same functionality. So the 3rd generation is really fantastic, though. The Apple TV in general, particularly if you are a Apple user with other devices, if you have an iPad or an iPhone, you can use AirPlay to connect to the Apple TV, and anything that is on your iPad screen or your MacBook screen, you can use AirPlay and stream that directly to your HD TV. It's very, very cool. And not only that, you can also extend your desktop to your HD TV. So if you want a second monitor and you want to put all your palettes on another screen just to give you more space on your work, on whatever you're working on, you can actually use the Apple TV to extend your desktop. Here's a look at the Apple TV home screen. I do want to mention also that you do get the Apple controller. Now this is an infrared controller, which means that if you've got your Apple TV installed behind your HD TV, you're going to have to bounce it off the ceiling, or you can download an app on your iPhone, and that lets you control the Apple TV through your smartphone, and that's really the way to go as far as I'm concerned. But it's a very nice remote. It's aluminum, and it just feels cool, looks cool. And there's a menu button on the left here. This is the play and pause button on the right. For if you're watching a Netflix movie, for instance, you can play and pause the movie. And then you've got your typical 5-way controller here. And that's how it works. So I just wanted to show you how quickly this operates. You just use the 5-way controller to navigate to whatever you want. You can go into settings here, and general you can check to see if there's updates. This is where you choose your network and set up Bluetooth and software updates. For instance, you can check to see if there's any updates, so I'm all up to date here. But things are very zippy, and I really like the addition of the iTunes Radio. iTunes Radio is really awesome. If you'd like to listen to music, it's just what you're accustomed to. You can customize this screen. You can add your own stations and that sort of thing. And then look at all the content that's been added now. You've got Netflix, Hulu Plus, HBO Go, PBS, ESPN, ABC, NBA, NHL. Now some of these you have to pay for, but they're available here. Bloomberg, Sky News, trailers, weather, KOR, TV, Disney Channel, Disney XD, Disney Junior, and it goes on and on and on. You've even got YouTube and Flickr, Vimeo, MLS. It's really great. There is just a lot of viewing options here, and I suspect Apple will continue to add content. So it's really, it's a lot faster than the second gen. It can't be jailbroken, but they've actually added a lot of features to the third gen that jailbreaking really isn't necessary for most people unless you just really want to do that, in which case you'd have to get the second gen. So all in all, I am really enjoying the Apple TV third generation. It's really, for $99, it's just an amazingly good value, I believe. And it plays very well with your other Apple devices. Now, if you're not a Mac family, then you may want to just get a Roku instead, because the Roku is pretty nice as well. But for Mac people, an Apple TV over the Roku for sure, because of the AirPlay. If you have any questions about the Apple TV, leave me a comment. I'll answer it if I can. Otherwise, thanks for watching and have a great day.